It's about assessing risk of harm, current harm and future possible harm to that child. It's about pooling information together from professionals and the family. And obviously, if the child is of an age, then you pull information from the child as well. All investigations are not always heading towards, for example, a conference. So it may be that you have assessed the risk of harm to that child, and with obviously your manager come to a decision that putting in support would be enough for that child and their family. Once the referral is received, it's allocated to a social worker. And at that point in time, you are going out to assess the harm that there may or may not have been to that child. Because sometimes we get information and it's malicious, but we have to go out to assess. We would want to meet with the family and the child. We do things like, for example, we would speak to the parents and ask if we can see the child on their own. And we would want to see the child in an environment where they feel comfortable, where they're maybe not going to be impacted on by a parent's presence. So we do ask parents at times to see the child in the bedroom, or it could be that we would see them at school, so that we can get the opinion of that child and their version of what's going on. We speak to parents, of course, and get the information from them from their point of view. We also speak to other professionals who are involved, and if required, we will use an interpreter. It's all about really looking at the welfare of that child. Are their needs being met? What can we do as an organisation to assist the parents to bring up the level if it's necessary? Because sometimes you go in and do assessments and things are generally all right. But it may be that obviously parents require some assistance. Some people are isolated. They don't have the family support around. And it may be that we can put in, assistance for them in some way. Apart from my manager, of course, the parents see the report. I would meet with them, discuss the report, go through it with them. Obviously, there's going to be things in it that they will not agree about. We'll discuss that. And I may have not included something which they want included. So we will discuss that also. And I would take their points and ensure that I would raise them at the conference. If you give it enough time, there are things that you can change, but there are things that you're obviously not going to, because that's perhaps how you see it and the parents see it perhaps differently. We would want to ensure that the parents know from the onset what all concerns are. We'd be very clear that parents are not going to a conference without knowing the reasons for all concerns. That information would also come from other professionals as well. So I would be providing the parents with the concerns that other professionals may have. We would want to ensure that parents are able to be at the conference. So it may be that there's some childcare arrangements that need to be made. We would assist them with that. We would discuss with them about who they may want to be at the conference to offer them support. So it may be that there's a family member that, or a friend that they would find supportive, or it could be an organisation, an advocacy organisation. The parents would be made aware of who would be present at the conference. The conference would have to be quorate, so there's a number of professionals who would, it's standard for them to be there, so such as the police, health, education, and obviously social services. And additional professionals would also be invited, which I would make the parents aware of. So it may be that they have, somebody from a nursery or someone from, let's think, it could be a drug and alcohol advisor, someone like that. Sometimes the child is not made subject to a protection plan. If it is, there's a plan put together to support the child, to assist in bringing up the level of care. That plan would also incorporate the parent. It may be that the parent needs to attend somewhere as part of the plan. And after the conference, there is obviously the core group meetings. Some organisations or some departments will have their core group meeting on the same day. However, others have it within 10 days, working days. It's a much smaller group. You would not have all those individual professionals who were at the conference meeting. It would be key individuals such as health, education, and the social worker who would chair the meeting, and you would also have the parents there. The parents are an important part of that meeting.